Hey guys, welcome back to another weekly report of the games I've been playing, and this week I've only played the one game, and that game being Death Stranding 2 on the beach. So I wanted to finish this game before next week, because next week we got Gears of War Reloaded, the Story of Seasons Grand Bazaar remaster or remake, as well as Metal Gear Solid 3, and Kirby and the Forgotten Land on Switch 2. So that's why I'm mainly focused on this game, and I didn't even play Yakuza 0. So now that I finished Death Stranding 2, I did really like it, but honestly I think I prefer the original story over this one, mainly because some of the story choices Kojima decided to go with, like I saw it coming from a mile away, because I think he gave away too much, and I don't know, just like the direction it went was not something that I personally would have chosen, but it is what it is. But I did notice that this game is significantly shorter than Death Stranding 1. And I don't know if it's because Death Stranding 1 I played the director's cut and I may have played some of the director's cut content. But this game I beat it in 32 hours. The original Death Stranding took me closer to 50 hours. So I don't know, I did do some side stuff, I didn't do a lot. I mainly stuck to the main story, and I went off the beaten path here and there to deliver certain packages that weren't too far off to deliver. Now, gameplay wise, I do think Death Stranding 2 is a lot better than Death Stranding 1, only because of the quality of life improvements and the additions that they made to the gameplay. So you can finally adjust your cargo without actually opening up the pause menu. You just press the D-pad up and it brings up the cargo wheel, and then you can choose to auto arrange all of your cargo without opening any menus, or you can manually do it yourself. And that is a very nice addition. And of course we got new structures with this game. We got a ramp that you can jump off and really leap pretty long distances without having to use the zip line, because those come back. You also have a teleporter that allows you to teleport to any specific access point that has a teleporter, or any teleporters that were manually created by any other porter, any other player. And the only catch to that is that you can't take any of your cargo with you. It'll be stored in that teleporter's private locker, the one that you use to teleport, not the one you end up at. So you have to go back to the other teleporter to retrieve your items. So just be wary of that. And you also have these waypoints, where they're basically like almost like stop signs, but they're meant to guide you to a certain like objective for other players that put down. So that's pretty cool. And overall, yeah, I think it is a better game from a gameplay standpoint, but from the story standpoint, I still prefer the original. The original had some cringy moments for sure. This game also has cringy moments. There's a musical number towards the end of the game that felt so out of place. And I know Kojima is known for being a little out there with his decisions, but I was like, okay, this literally came out of nowhere, and I don't know why this is here. And I'm honestly disappointed with the main villain and like the final boss fight, because I mean the final boss fight can be cool, but also it felt unnecessarily extra, if that makes sense. And yeah, the main villain is just like, really, this is the main villain? I'm like I thought this guy was going to be like, he showed up at the beginning of the game, but I thought maybe he'll die off in, towards the middle of the game, and then there's going to be this other villain that has been behind certain things. But nope, the main villain is unfortunately who it is, and I'm like, okay. And I don't know, it's weird. So I really like the game, but I also didn't really care that much for the story. Now there's some twists and turns in this story that I didn't see coming, with a certain individual and then connected to another character, and I thought that was pretty neat. And there is another twist in here that unfortunately has been foreshadowed, and you can tell from way before the ending happens. And there's a twist that has to do with a certain individual that I didn't see coming, but it's hard not to say because of spoilers. But yeah, overall the direction is pretty weird. So the ending leaves the door open for more with a certain character, and the game, once you beat it, you actually can free roam after and complete any jobs that you haven't done yet. Because in the original game, once you beat the game, it basically reverts back before you do the final mission. Same thing here, you revert before the final mission and you can do anything you want. And that's pretty cool. And then it actually gives you an option to make the game harder for yourself or make it easier for yourself after you beat the game. So that's something I didn't expect. But yeah, if you like Death Stranding 1, you're more than likely going to like Death Stranding 2. But whether you prefer the narrative from Death Stranding 2 over Death Stranding 1 will differ from person to person. Like in Death Stranding 2, they added a feature to where you can pretty much skip a lot of the exposition that you don't want to hear. Unfortunately, from my experience in the main story, most of that is from the first half of the game and any deliveries that you make. But when it comes to like the main like cutscenes and stories, there's a lot of exposition that is told to you in the second half of the game. So it's kind of like half and half. Now, if you did not like Death Stranding 1, this game is not going to change anything for you. It's still Death Stranding, it's still a Kojima game. And if he does do a third game, I hope that, the story is a little better. The pacing is a little better in the second game than it is in the first game, I'll give it that. But just the story choices I didn't really agree with. But that is all I have to say. And that was Death Stranding 2 on the beach. So now that I finished this game, I can focus on Yakuza 0 for now until the games that come out next week come out. Now, I am actually a little on the verge whether or not I should actually cancel my pre-order for Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater, because as of right now, they released the reviews for this game, and unfortunately on PlayStation 5 specifically, the performance is not up to par. Especially on PS5 Pro, there's issues with the PSSR implementation that pretty much makes this platform the worst one you can play it on. And honestly, I'm not really that big on stealth games, but I was willing to give this a shot, so now I'm debating whether or not I should cancel my pre-order for this and then buy the Lost Soul Aside that comes out the day after, and that looks like Devil May Cry. So if I'm able to cancel my Metal Gear Solid pre-order and still be able to pre-order Lost Soul Aside, even though it's going to be a couple days before it comes out, I don't know if my GameStop is going to get any extra copies, and if they don't, then I'm probably just going to cancel Metal Gear and put the money that I paid for it towards Borderlands 4, because I think that comes out in a couple weeks too. So I don't know, we'll see. Anyway, enough of me rambling. So once again, like I do every week, let me know what you think of the games you've been playing this week, and what have you been playing. Are you excited for Metal Gear, or are you disappointed with the performance that it has on console? Or are you excited for Gears of War Reloaded? Because I am very much excited for that. It's been quite a long time since I played the original game, since I think the Ultimate Edition came out back in 2016, so it's going to be refreshing to play that game again. And I'm also looking forward to Kirby. So anyways guys, thank you for watching. I'll see you guys next time.